Hello, everybody. Welcome in to the stream. It's me, Digi. Welcome aboard. We are back in Euro Truck Sim 2, and I am going to get set up for maybe one or two runs tonight. Might be a short stream, might be a long stream. I guess it depends on the routes we take and whether or not we go the distance. We are currently in the UK right now, and I'm debating trucking as far south as like Italy, Naples, Palermo, or as far east as like, I don't know, Poland. I also haven't been up to Sweden in a long time, and I haven't actually explored too many opportunities out that way. And I am eyeing up the DLC that's out there because I am debating the idea of also getting back into, what am I trying to say? Getting back into Project Japan. Some of you that have been around the stream for a long time know that I used to do a few like rare truck streams in Project Japan, and Project Japan was actually pretty cool, but the map space that it had was limited. They have since worked on the map and expanded it extensively. It's pretty far out there, so I'm not sure if it's gonna be something that I might do. It's not gonna be something I do today because I want to just keep driving, but I would have to buy, I think, 3 map DLC to catch myself up. I'd have to buy Iberia, West Balkans, and Greece, and I think that's everything. And then I would have what I need to download the 1.5 version of the map, and then that would put me back in Japan, which would also put me back in the greater vicinity of Tokyo. But again, that's something that I am gonna kick around, I guess. Sorry about that. I was just verifying the audio levels in the other screen. I am in Aberdeen. I don't know where Aberdeen is. Aberdeen is like way up north UK. So you're not going to go further up. You're not going to go up further. Wait, am I in Scotland? Digigeography is horrible. I'm sorry. So let's see. I am probably about maybe 20 minutes IRL time from Newcastle upon Tyne to get to Amsterdam. I could probably do some trucking from Amsterdam down into Germany and across the border into Prague, or I could go up further and then wind up going as far as St. Petersburg. I haven't been up that way. Oh man, this could actually be an epic drive. So, do I actually have my trailer with? I do. I do. This is mine. I like this livery. I've used this for a long time. Actually, this reminds me of something. I haven't actually checked how much mileage my truck has. So before I go anywhere, let's go ahead. Let's get down to the local repair shop, and let's see what the shape of my truck is. Let's see how much mileage I have, and then we'll see whether or not we should, celebrate the milestone if there is one. Okay. Fortunately, the repair shop looks like it's right here, I think. Yeah. Yeah, right over here. Okay. Truck maintenance and repairs. Oh, I haven't driven it that much. I thought I drove it for a much longer time. This truck actually only has a, a little less than 74,000 kilometers. But I mean, I've been driving this truck off and on since 2012. I'm sorry, not 2012, 2014, 2015. So I think 2015 was when I got it. So it's about 10 years old, in my opinion. How much would a total restoration cost? It would be a little over 400,000 euros. And both of them are in 5-star condition, so it's not like I'm going to have a problem. Oh, look at that. So that's actually damage that I can't just kind of like repair, that I can't just like, patch up. It's a little weird, but that's less money than the cost of a total Wait, how much does total restoration cost? It costs more to repair. No, wait, hold on. I'm looking at the total to pay. Right. So everything costs about $312,000 to take care of. I'm going to do this. I'm going to leave the repairs alone until I feel like both of these are at 5 or at 10% of like perma damage. And then we're going to figure out whether or not that's worth my time. All right, let's go to the map and let's see if I can get a job. Do I care about the external market right now? Kind of not, to be honest. I don't like the limitations it puts on my speed. Oranges to Edinburgh. Let's see, Carlisle, Newcastle, Manchester. This takes me into Denmark. And then we can explore Sweden again and wind up getting into Finland and Russia. So, honestly, Noki is probably going to be the way to go. We're going to bid farewell to the UK for a little while, and then we're going to get going. I'm assuming the trip time is probably a lot closer to like 40 minutes IRL, or like 12 or 13 hours instead of 29 hours. I'm thinking crossing this this bay or this sound or this sea is going to be what's going to take up a lot of time. So we'll do it. We'll do it, and we'll see how long it takes, and then we'll see whether or not I actually have, the oomph to take on another delivery. But good afternoon or good evening or good morning to all of you, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. I am gonna truck to Denmark now, and then we're gonna see whether or not we're gonna go any further. Right now I find myself in the UK, and depending on the adventures that we have, who knows? I might wind up in St. Petersburg before this is all over. So let's go ahead, grab our load from the cargo market. We're going to take Noki to Denmark, to Odense, and we'll get set up. It is about 7:14 p.m. local time, so I'm not going to waste time getting loaded, and this is probably going to take me into, it will take me into the next day. Hey, Two-Faced Disc, hello! Welcome back, welcome back. Happy to have you with us today. I decided to do some trucking this afternoon, and I don't know whether I'm going to do one load because it's a pretty hefty haul to Denmark from the UK, or if I'm going to do a couple of them. Welcome aboard, friend. Folks, if you don't know my friend Two-Faced Disc, you might want to. Two-Faced Disc is a longtime friend and supporter of the channel, and he's also got one or two things cooking with regards to upcoming projects, I believe. Two-Faced is working on something for DCS, and he, I think, also still dabbles in flight sim. But again, if you haven't followed Two-Faced Disc 799 yet, I would recommend you do so. All right, let's go ahead and get out of here. Let's see. There we go. Let's andale over to Denmark and slowly stepping on out of here. We're going to make a right turn. Yeah, right turns in the UK and Australia are weird because they're the complete opposite of left turns in the States. Still trips me up a bit, I gotta say. But I am driving the long-time Volvo trailer platform, the one that I like driving a lot, that I've driven for approximately 74,000 kilometers and still going. So we're going to get out of here and we're going to deliver some gnocchi to Denmark. I've been playing this game off and on literally since I first picked it up in 2014. It really started paying off for me once I got my own truck and company and trailer and started hiring people. That took a while, but then we actually got to that. Ooh, ouch. Well, I hope that situation pans out a lot better for you soon, my friend. And I know you have your duties and other things you have to take care of, so, we'll take it one step at a time. And certainly much love to you and your family. To be completely honest with you, started this afternoon, or started my kind of like chill time this afternoon, not feeling the best. I mean, physically I'm okay, I'm alright, but I was dealing with some stuff this afternoon, which basically, kind of soured the milk, if you will. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because Mrs. Digi and I, we handled it. And no, this wasn't something between me and Mrs. Digi. I love Mrs. Digi and she loves me, and we do not have we don't have any kind of beef. The only beef we like is the kind we can grill up and eat. So we're good. We're good. But this other stuff, life, believe me, it just sucks. So whatever that situation is, I'm giving to the Lord in Jesus' name, and I'm going to rest, and we're going to have an okay time on here and get ourselves over to Denmark and see what the folks over there do. But I appreciate your support, Two-Faced. Thank you so much. 29 hours and 42 minutes of driving means it's probably going to put me over there at the evening time again. Mrs. Digi has been, I'm going to say, okay. The treatments have not been working as quickly as either one of us would like, assuming they are doing their thing at the moment. Certain things that you do, and in general, I'm assuming, not homeopathic, but basically, therapy-esque things like chiropractor visits and adjustments and other tech that she's using isn't kicking in as quickly as we'd like. So we're taking it literally, I guess, moment by moment. On the bright side, though, there is something that I can gladly share with you guys. Without going into too many details, I will say that there is a new opportunity possibly on the horizon. I had an interview a little while ago for a new position with a different company, IRL, and it reminded me of things that I used to do many years ago. So when I sat down to talk with the folks that were responsible for telling me about the opportunity, it made me smile. I had a very nice time chatting with the people involved, and basically, I'm waiting to hear back from them. I'm waiting to hear back from my recruiter. If I do this, a few things will change. Certainly, my job will change, my responsibilities will change, and the cadence of things like scenery dev and streaming may change as well. However, the reason why that's not necessarily a humongous bummer for me is because this. I'm treating it this way, and my Heavenly Father knows I am, but I'm sharing it with you guys right now. If I get this opportunity, it's because I want to and can continue to extend my skills and my know-how as a software developer and software dude. If I don't get this opportunity, then I'm simply going to step back, pause, keep working where I am, and start building out my scenery dev business. I don't know what that's going to shape up to be like, but I'm going to start getting way more serious. Thank you. Thank you so much, my friend. I hope that things pan out for Yahweh's glory and not mine. I hope that's the case because, on the one hand, the opportunity that I interviewed for is really, to be completely honest with you, a bit of a once in a blue moon deal. You really don't see things on offer like what I saw and what I was considered for all the time. In fact, I had been monitoring kind of like, open positions, and this is different than basically virtually anything else that I actually worked with. And it kind of sounds fun because it would take me back to some of the old school things I did when I started programming and working with a company. On the other hand, if this isn't for me, then the way I'll know is them telling me, "Hey, we think you're fantastic. You're certainly great to talk to, and you have some great insights and some plans, but we're going to go in a different direction." For me personally, if that's what happens, then, to be frank, I'm going to literally park it. I'm going to stop considering what I do on a daily basis as something that's worthy of my uh, extensive time. Yes, as a software developer, I do need to keep growing and maintaining my skills. That's a necessity. That's just something that comes with the flow. But I'm going to stop. Um, I'm not going to stop. I'm just not. It's just not going to be my number one priority in terms of extending into something new. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do things to look into technologies and look at new and advancing things to keep my skills sharp. But I'm also going to spend a lot more time involved in analyzing and doing things involved with, scenery dev and flight sim and looking at things and tuning into way more MSFS developer streams and learning how to do world editor for X-Plane. Because let's assume, for example, that I hit it off with my company. Let's assume if I do that, then what's going to happen is I'm going to be able to work when I want to, how I want to. I'm going to be able to enjoy more time making money on my own terms. And it's no longer appealing to me because it's like, oh, I can make gobs of money. Or if I don't want to work a certain day, I don't have to. It's not about that. it's I want to be diligent, and I want to work hard, but I want to work hard at things that I feel like will actually pan out well. And by that I mean something where I actually be able to do something successfully because it really drives my curiosity and my passion, and I can really kind of get down to business, and I can, focus on the thing. It's not that I couldn't focus on the thing before, it's that I kind of have to, like you have to decide what you're going to do with your time. You know what I mean? Like you can't just like say one thing and then just like keep working at a certain pace. I guess what I'm trying to say is certain things become very apparent. And in one sense, this is in part what drove my recent decisions to tune down a little bit of my freelance ops so I could divert more focus back into my IRL work. I want to work hard, but I don't want to work myself to the bone. And if I can't do the thing where I if I can't do the thing where I work diligently and also have time to detune, then I won't be able to think about stuff for, my scenery dev. So, all that to say, I need to make sure I'm not wearing myself thin. And that's fun. That's fun. It's something that I'm waiting for an answer for, and we'll see whether or not that pans out. If it doesn't pan out, oh well. If it does pan out, great. Meanwhile, I've got 7.6 million fake euros in my Euro Truck 2 sim account, which means that I can buy garages, hire people, hire more, buy more trucks, and keep grinding so that I can actually grow my my virtual empire. So this is also a great opportunity for me to be in the sim so that my virtual truckers can continue to make me money. I've got garages in a whole bunch of countries, and I am debating whether or not I want to get all the DLC, the West Balkans and Iberia and Greece DLC, so I can download the latest version of Project Japan. For me, the issue with Project Japan before was that the map was so constrained, it was difficult for me to decide whether or not I wanted to continue using it. And now, even though I have to buy more DLC, the idea of getting back into Project Japan, as big as it is now, it appeals to me more than I think I did. That's a fair concern. I think you're talking about the the monologue I had earlier, where we're talking about just deciding how to divert my time between things. What can I tell you? It's like I want to do the best I can, but I also don't want to stretch myself out too much. And I think that's at the heart of what I'm trying to accomplish. Be wise, be capable, without being totally obsessed. And you just reminded me of something. I kind of had a heart-to-heart with the Lord about this This was some self-introspection. I think I was obsessing about any and every way possible to to earn a living so that I could take care of my family. But I was looking to money as the thing that I need to pay attention to, and that wasn't the case at all. Um, a couple of weeks ago, we got into a situation where we were able to take care of some long-standing financial needs through financial instruments that we had. And up until that point, we were scraping by. And then, you know, now we come out the other side of it, and I had the opportunity to get some things. I got myself a game capture card to play old games on. Unfortunately, I also discovered that my old Xbox 360 has a faulty optical drive, and I might actually set aside some money in the not too distant future to get it fixed, because I like playing with the Xbox 360. But it's also not something that I'm going to obsess or go bananas over if I have to get rid of it, because it's just not going to be fixable. I I started to think about and to see the things that I had and the goals that I was trying to accomplish, and I was like, well, maybe maybe that's just not where my Heavenly Father wants me right now. Maybe He wants me in a place where I slow down and I'm more dependent on Him, and I understand there are a few things that I can do really well and other things that I can't. And maybe I have to get rid of all my game consoles and the stream PC and take up knitting in, Skokie, Illinois. Maybe that's where He wants me. And His wisdom is higher than mine, so why am I struggling? I'm struggling because I either want things my way, or I want to stop thinking about all the things that I owe. And I could definitely indulge in retail therapy if I want to, or at least the idea of it, which is just as bad, because if I obsess about stuff, or if I obsess about my time, then it's like, oh well, I could always do this, and I can easily blow hours of my day going over hypothetical scenarios and looking through my stuff and figuring out what works and what doesn't. One of my seemingly favorite pastimes is putting items in a shopping cart and debating which one of them I really need. I can blow hours doing that. Hours. And I'm not even joking. This isn't a sweeping generalization. It's the truth. So there are things about life that are unhealthy, and I'm realizing that more. And it's just like, you know, go get dinner for Mrs. Digi. You know, buy her a nice thing or two. Quit obsessing. Digi, it's not about you. Enjoy your time. You're going to get to a place where you're going to be like, well, I never got what I wanted. And then somebody else on the completely other side of the fence will be like, I got everything I wanted and I'm by myself. And I would gladly trade it all away in a heartbeat to be with the people that matter. Over the past, I want to say, 2.5 to 3 years, there were more than a few people in my life that went away, that passed away. And do you not think I would shut this computer off and trade everything away just to get 1 minute with them again? Of course I would. And that's just the thing. I make jokes about, hey, wouldn't it be great if everyone on Twitch paid attention to me and gave me all the subs? which is what we secretly wish for as Twitch streamers. Everybody wishes for that. And if you don't, you may have a problem with lying. I do too. It's like, I want all the things. I want all the subscriptions, all the donations, all the bits. Like, don't lie, don't lie. But I think the process of the past year and a half broke me wide open and forced me to see that there were several crutches that I was leaning on in my life. One of those crutches was having the ability to do whatever I wanted with my money. Being in a position where I could say, well, life sucks and I'm not following you as closely as I should, Heavenly Father, but I got money. So guess what? I'm going to go do retail therapy. I know how that makes my Heavenly Father feel. I would imagine. So when stuff like this happens and I go, oh man, I wish I had money so I could pay my bills off and maybe go like take Mrs. Digi to go see the movies, which by the way isn't a completely horrible thing. It's like, well, I'd like to do that, but you're going to blow your money on things which basically mean nothing. You're going to indulge in, like dumb habits, not sinful habits. I'm not going to go get drunk. I'm going to, probably be stupid and eat popcorn at like 12:30 in the morning because I'm watching my favorite streamer. And by the way, this is purely about my habits. This is not a judgment call against anybody else. What I'm saying is I've been known to spend my money foolishly. So the concept of me basically saying, oh, well, wouldn't it be great if I had enough money to blah, 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 is a thinly veiled way of saying, I'm selfish. I want my way all the time. And this is why. Because I can buy umpteen different video game consoles and spend time playing them. When the past year and a half taught me, when your brain is smoking, all you're doing is focusing on being on survival mode. And there are things about that that bring out the best in you. You learn what's truly important and what the true priorities are. And I wouldn't have wished my frustrations in terms of programming or learning new things on my worst enemy, but I'm so glad that they came. Because, like I said, they stripped me of the desire to do the things I usually do. And yes, I'm still working through my stuff. I'm not perfect. I'm just forgiven by the Lord Jesus Christ. But I also think it makes me more grateful for the opportunities that I have now, because I understand, hey, I make more money, it's easier for me to take care of Mrs. Digi. Hey, I make more money, that means I can take my parents on a trip. Hey, I make more money, that means I can get the one thing that I've really wanted, but I've been debating getting because I've been trying to keep my selfishness at bay, and I know I don't need a banana video game system, or like I don't need Raspberry Pi 12 if I have like 3 of them already. In fact, I can give some to my friends. I can give some to somebody that wants to learn how to program but doesn't have a computer, doesn't have a setup, or they work so much they need something to chill and rest their time on. I can give them one of my Lego sets, stuff like that. But in the past, I focused more on me, because when things were easy, when things were good, it's very easy for me to say stuff like, well, like, that's what I want, and I'm going to get it. Which introduces us to this lovely thing called credit card debt, which is a stupid tax that I'm going to be paying for a very long time. So, if you're a lurker and you're watching this, or if you somehow managed to tune in at this moment, do your absolute best to pay cash for everything. Or, in the modern vernacular, use a debit card, not a credit card. Thank you. Your future self will say, "You're welcome." All that aside, I'm I'm debating some things that I'm going to do, and on the fun side, I think if I do get Greece, West Balkans, and Iberia, then I'll be able to go back to Project Japan. And if I do that, that's going to be next level difficulty, and it's going to reintroduce me to the challenge of driving a truck in Japan, and make me want to consume a whole bunch more ramen. But DG issues. With that said, we are still a little over a day into our delivery. I'm assuming the trip across the bay is going to knock about 8 to 10 hours off that, but it's going to take me a little while to get down to the port, the seaport, I guess. We're on our way there. I think we're probably past Newcastle upon Tyne a little while ago. Oh no, wait. I think it's from Newcastle upon Tyne that I go to cross the bay. Whatever the case may be, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm glad that I am back in Euro Truck Simulator 2 and doing some runs in the UK. The UK is basically, in my opinion, the most challenging piece of video game real estate that I am going to deliver things in, because the rules seem stricter here. They use speed cameras a lot, so I have to watch myself, or I can easily drop, up to 800 quid every single time I have a speed violation if I'm not paying attention to the cameras and the speed limits. It's cool because it definitely makes you pay attention. Oh, please throw your 2 cents in. I would be glad to hear your thoughts. Oh, I can't tell, but I think I just saw a wall of text. I might actually hit the escape button and read that because that matters to me. Or I can pull over at this rest area so I don't pause the game, and take a look. Because in the game it's 2:06 in the morning on a Saturday, and the virtual driver is probably very tired. So hang on, I'm gonna pull over because I wanna actually read this, and we'll pull over right by the gas pumps because I'm also low on. I'm past the halfway point on fuel. I like walls of text. Sometimes I write them. All right, superb. All right. You got 2 walls. I got 2 walls? That's even better. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to read it quietly because I read faster. Nice. Okay. Um, to be honest, in part, that might have been why I burnt out on Flight Sim streaming back in 2022. Because I was starting to get very frustrated that I wasn't getting people's attention on my streams. I tried things like, setting up music. I tried things like having good transitions. I tried things like really engaging with people, and none of it worked. And essentially I got really frustrated because I was just like, well, It's like the kid with the basketball. Like, if no one's gonna like if no one's gonna play my way, I'm gonna take my ball and go home. You know, be a bit of a drama prince and just go home. And I did. I did. I got frustrated. I got pouty. I sulked. I walked away from streaming for like 2 weeks. It's like, I know, the world almost ended. No, no, clearly it did not. But I was just like, to be honest, I was kind of heartbroken. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew that I wasn't having a lot of satisfaction from what I was doing. And I was just like, this sucks. Like, what am I going to do? And then, for some strange reason, I rediscovered scenery development. And that's what kicked off kind of like my rebranding. And then I kind of let that take shape. And no, um, it doesn't bring a lot of people in. But I think, and if I'm being genuine here, even with as few people as I actually got, um, I I think I connected a lot more with the community at large as a result of putting myself out there and doing things for other people, as opposed to just trying to be, a flight sim streamer on the order of Chewy94, or like older streamers like Brad M, or streamers like the Flying Fabio, who I miss, but had his reasons for leaving. I don't know what those are, but I'm not going to worry about it because I'm not the Flying Fabio. I'm DIGI Driver. And the thing is, I think once this doesn't always stick, but it comes back in spurts. If I realize that if I stream and I only stream to myself, then that's what I do, fine. If I have one or two people in chat that are sticking around, making the stream lively or enjoyable, then I'm going to take care of my friends. I'm going to support them. I'm going to try to say hello to them or send them a nice message, even if the only thing I can do is, hey, I can't stick around, but I wanted to say thanks for being on Twitch. Thanks for streaming today. Hope you have a great day. I gotta go. And when people give me those kind of, I'm going to leave this message here posts in the middle of my Twitch stream, I take that to heart. I appreciate it, because that means they took enough time to say, hey, even if they weren't going to stick around, I'm not going to be like, well, like, why did you stick around for like 5 minutes? Brr. No, because they could have just as easily said nothing. And they were like, yeah, he's busy, bye. And then I would not have known that they would have stopped by. So this thing called, dropping a message and running, is not the same as ding dong ditch. You're not like pranking someone by ringing their doorbell and running. You're leaving somebody, a little compliment. In my opinion, what I like to do, leave somebody a little compliment or a message and say, hey, appreciate you. I can't stay, but I wanted to say hello. You're amazing. Have a great day. And in my opinion, that kind of thank you economy does so much to benefit people that you think it's like, well, it doesn't seem like a lot, like, meh. And you would think that, honestly, but dude, the tiniest compliment can sometimes really, really make someone's day. And honestly, are we going to ignore or pass up the opportunity to help somebody feel better if we can? And that's the whole point of me having a little bit of spare change. The point of that is to say, hey, if I can chip in for someone's gas, if I can pick up dinner on the way home from work for my wife as opposed to having her cook, and this is these are hypotheticals. Mrs. DG is on a pain and recovery journey, so you guys know what I'm talking about when it comes to those things. But also with regards to things like that, with regards to what I'm trying to say, with regards to taking care of other people and being present and helping folks that want to get stuff done, a little bit goes a long way. Same thing with Twitch. I think the only thing that still bothers me about Twitch is that in order for you to have a successful stream when absolutely no one is watching you, you really have to be on your game. You have to understand why you're streaming. You have to understand what it is you want to do. And you have to have the diligence and the desire to carry it out. Even if it's something as silly as playing a game like Euro Truck Simulator 2. You kind of have to want to do it, because when you're streaming and you have even one or two people in chat, it's a lot easier because they even one person can control the flow of the conversation if you want to engage with them. And clearly, if you have folks that are coming in and that are really benefiting the stream, it raises your kind of like energy level, it raises their energy level. It's all those things. It's all those things. It's still a journey for me, but I don't want to take it for granted, or what am I trying to say? I don't want to what am I trying to say? I don't want to make it into something it's not. I don't think I turned damage off. I'm surprised it didn't actually impact my truck. I thought I hit somebody. Oops. Sorry. Thank you so much, my brother. Twitch has become something which I have figured out somewhat well over the course of the past 4 years. In one sense, I think I know now a little bit more about why I'm on here. And I know that if I got a popular game, that it would be a lot easier for me to have people come into the stream and be a part of it. But just because you get a popular game, just because you decide to play something a lot of people are paying attention to, doesn't mean the quality of your streaming or even your own personal enjoyment is going to be something that you're going to want. Studio Canuck coming in. Dude, thank you so much. 47 months of support. That's almost 4 years. I'm a little bit floored. Welcome in, whether you've been lurking for a little while or you just came in to drop off a nice little gift. I appreciate your support, my friend. I am in Euro Truck Simulator 2, and I have been debating getting a little group or scheduled thing going with regards to trucking. And honestly, it's becoming more and more a thought in my head, like this idea to actually get it going. So I think you're in my Discord, or I'll probably put it up in yours, but definitely, I've been looking for a bit. Awesome. Definitely pay attention, because I think either in spring or summer, I'm going to start really floating the idea of doing convoys with friends. Or I'll be a convoy of one like I am. but I'm going to set it up so that I can actually stream and hang out with buddies and do that, I think, like once a week, either in Euro Truck Sim 2 or in American Truck Sim, because I think Euro Truck Sim 2 has some, very interesting places to go to and beautiful vistas, kind of like this place. I'm in Denmark right now, and I've got literal, wow, 2 hours and 12 minutes. I thought there would have been a lot more time that I would have had. That ferry must have taken literally like 18 hours or something. That's amazing. But we're delivering gnocchi. We're delivering some pasta supplies, and that gives me some ideas as to what I want to make Mrs. Digi for dinner. I might go the pasta route tonight. I might actually do that. I know that Studio Canuck is not streaming tonight for reasons, and I believe you're streaming on Sunday. I will do my best to be there, my friend, and then we get back into the thing for the week ahead. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. I don't think I'm going to be streaming later tonight because this is my stream for today, and we'll see. We'll see. I know Mrs. DG is busy with some stuff, but I also want to make sure that I am present too. Yes, I could do an extreme long haul from, like, the UK to, I don't know, Romania, but all in due time. All in due time. I definitely like being in the stream, being on stream, and connecting with people. And I know very few people that could, turn down the idea of making a little extra buck. But it's like I told Studio Connect before, my Twitch career is essentially gourmet potato chip money. The real value, the reason why it makes me feel rich, is because of the friends that I've made. Canuck, I don't know how much of my previous conversation you made, but just in case anybody new showed up, I was talking with Two-Faced Disc about, the real powerful economy of Twitch, and how it's not about how many folks you can get into your channel and how much money you can make off of, like, subs and bits and donations. It really is about connecting with people and making new friends, or at least really growing empathy and respect for others along the way. And just the number of friends that I have made on Twitch, like you and Two-Faced and so many others, over the course of the last 2.5 years alone. Oh, wow. And Iowa Scotsman, hello. I'm sorry, I might have, why did I miss your, oh, there we go. Yeah, you did drop an emote in there. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying hello, Iowa Scotsman, and welcome, of course. I was just saying, like the number of friends that I've made here, and the connections and the really, really meaningful conversations that we've had, that is what makes Twitch beautiful and impressive. And yeah, not gonna lie, getting an extra $5-10, getting an extra thing, a payout every once in a while, that's good too. Like, it's a thing, and it's amazing. But it's not the only reason, and I feel comfortable enough saying it should never be the only reason for me to be on this thing in the first place. So that's it. 1 hour and 13 minutes of sim time. So basically a little bit over, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes before we actually make our delivery of gnocchi. And then we'll see whether or not we actually do anything. Helps to pay helps to pay for the FMCs. That's right. Well, you know what I say, Canuck, it's a win-win situation. But oops. So, definitely, it's amazing. Ooh. Whoa. I don't think that's bueno. That might be on fire? No good. No good. Canuck, how is your DLC for either American Truck Sim or Euro Truck Sim 2? I have both. I have all the map expansions for American Truck Simulator, and I'm only missing 3 expansions for ETS. I'm debating getting those 3. If you have everything for ETS 2, yeah, exactly. So in terms of ATS, I have everything, and in terms of ETS, I'm like you, I'm only missing the most recent ones. I'm debating doing convoys in ETS specifically because the um, the sheer number of destinations that are in different countries are more tempting for me. I'm not saying, well, ATS sucks. Clearly not, because I live in the States, and all the different places that are out there are beautiful. And the closer we get to Florida, the more and more I want to do long hauls. I think the next most eastern state which is going to release, the very next release for ATS, is literally going to be Louisiana. And when that happens, we'll be able to get down to New Orleans all the way from California, from like, LA or San Francisco, or we could even do like an Omega long haul from, I don't know, Portland or Seattle down to New Orleans, and that would be amazing. That would be amazing personally. But I'm holding out hope that Florida will come in the not too distant future. In the meantime, trips to places like Denmark, Sweden, Russia, Poland, uh, Romania, Turkey, Greece, that's gonna be that's gonna be something which I feel is going to be amazing. So stay tuned, watch this space. I'm probably going to think about this a lot and prep for possible, I think, twice monthly or once a month convoys. And that way we'll be able to get a bunch of people with us, and we will be able to make the most of, like a well prepped, well executed thing. And of course, we'll have memes along the way. People will get crazy numbers of speeding tickets or whatever. We we can take the conversation offline on like my Discord or your Discord, so that we can talk about how realistic we want the thing to be, whether we just want to have a kind of like arcadey like trucking experience where people are having a great time, something like that. It's a to be determined thing, but I'm definitely looking forward to future conversations. Or we could go to American Truck Sim and do convoys and watch me get stuck at diverging diamond interchanges for fun, and have everybody laugh in my face and go ha ha. I'm still not over that. That's so funny. That was funny. My agent will talk with your agent. We'll see. We'll see. I definitely feel like I want to make something like that happen this year because, it's cheap. We're not driving real trucks, and it is something which has become a permanent extension of my digital career, if you will. So, look at that. We're just about to get into Norfood. Norfood. I don't even know how to pronounce it. So my apologies to anyone. Where am I supposed to go even? Where do we park? Oh. uh, nah, dude. You can move that yourself. I'm gonna be lazy. Yeah, I'm good, bruh. Let's pop it up on the curb. There we go. I'm good. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and unload this. 753 kilometers and 30 hours and 10 minutes of game time. We had about, I think it was like 39 hours. So we literally shaved 9 hours off of that thing by just non-stopping it. And that was with the stop for fuel. All right. So I think the next step is to toy with the idea of seeing if I can get into St. Petersburg this stint. We'll see how long it's going to take for me to actually get there. My guess is it might not take that much longer. Maybe another like 30 to 40 minutes, so I might do it. But let me go ahead and get up and take care of some things. I'll BRB in about a minute or two, and then we'll keep cranking. Stay tuned. All right, folks, I'm back. Just checking my levels to make sure you guys can hear me. That's good. All right, so we just wrapped up a route from the UK to Denmark. Let me see if I can take any offers from here. No offers at all. All right, so, oh, of course, nothing from that company doesn't mean there aren't any opportunities out there. Whoa. I would have to drive down from there to do a job in Venice. That would just be ridiculous. That would mess with my head. I could drive to Copenhagen, but I want to go further than that. Let me see if anybody's actually delivering to Russia. Somebody's going to Estonia. And this is... No, nope. And that's wow. That's literally, I think, like an hour and a half-ish of time. This would be a little bit over 40 minutes, and this will put me on the road up there. That takes me into Poland. That's probably about, that might be as close as I'm going to get this stream. So if I do another 40 minutes, then I could probably do that. Yeah. What about... That's a lot closer to 40 minutes, and that might be a little bit less if I hammer it. Ooh, there we go. Why didn't I see that before? Latvia? Ooh, Dr. Doom, anyone? That would be, I think, really cool. I haven't been to Latvia. I haven't been to Estonia. Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll take some potted flowers, cross the bay, and we will experience northeastern Europe by way of Denmark and Sweden. Okay. That, I think, is going to take me about as close to around 40 minutes as I want to be. And I suspect it's probably going to be closer to a half an hour. So, that's one more run for us for today. And then I think I'm going to call my my truck stream. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Does this go around the back? It doesn't. Oh boy. This could be a problem. Okay. Alright, that should do it. Nope, can't push the wall with my truck. That should just about get us out. There we go. Great. That was quite narrow. Let's go visit Latvia. If I don't wreck my trailer in the process. Ugh. Oh, wow. Alright, before I get out of town, I'm definitely going to have to get my truck fixed up because I dinged the trailer a little bit. Denmark be crazy. Well, no, not crazy. Just different. Well, look at that suspiciously familiar signage. Dude in the van is like, can you sightsee somewhere else, please? So welcome back, everybody. If you're watching this and you just tuned in, my name is DIGI Driver, and I am in Euro Truck Simulator 2 I am trying to not wreck my truck, and I am going to pick up some cargo, which I'm going to take to Latvia. Let's pick up the cargo. And we're going to cross another body of water. And hopefully see some really cool scenery at the same time. This is going to be kind of irritatingly difficult. This might be the one time that I decide that I'm going to just skip loading. But we will see. If I was going for that parking spot, I'd basically be sold, but this is not what we're doing. Oh, wait a minute. No, exactly. Exactly. I'm backing into a different spot, so clearly that's not how it works. All right. Just push some pallets with my truck. No. Okay, I think what I'm gonna have to do is this. I'm gonna have to go all the way back. I'm kind of really getting myself stuck now. So I may have to come reversing the other way. I just barely made that. So let's do it this way. This should probably be much easier for me to do. All right, good enough. I'm happy for that. Let's go ahead and load. So about a 19-hour run, and the sun is coming up. Beautiful sky. Oh my word. Let's go. I'm so happy I'll get my my beacon lights going. Okay, enough. Let's get out of town. I think I can go this route. I think. But before I do that, I'm going to want to... Ooh, that was close. I'm going to want to visit the repair shop down the road. Let's go. Carefully. Don't want to hit anybody. Almost did. Alright, so I'm going to go kind of like the long way around the barn because I want to hit the garage first before I hit the road. So we probably aren't going to make it to Russia today, but we are going to get to Latvia, which is an excellent consolation prize as far as I'm concerned. making a sweeping turn. That truck said, "I'm coming. Get out of the way." Superb. Yeah, again, you've heard this before. I like both sims. I like Euro Truck Sim 2 because it's the first sim that I played through that I've invested a lot of time and money into. And I like, what am I gonna say? I also like American Truck Sim because it's got so much in the way of recognizable terrain, or at least the idea of places that I've seen and seen in shows or seen on film or whatnot that I recognize. All right, let's go get this truck fixed up and then we'll hit the road. Okay, service. The trailer has some damage. There's 1% wear, 8% wear on the wheels, or they must mean the tires. But I probably wouldn't even be replacing tires on this truck until they were well past like 45 to 50% anyway. If I replaced them, then there will be nothing else that was worn down. And I could do that just for kicks, but I'll wait till this gets to at least maybe 15 to 20% before I actually decide to do anything with it. That's fine. Could I actually configure my truck for anything at the moment? I don't know. Let's see. 750 horsepower motor, low torque. I have an I shift instead of an Allison. It's a 12 plus 2. Hey, this is my interior. It's nice. Exclusive. And I'll keep the paint job the way it is. I don't think I'm going to put too many other accessories here, to be honest. Stock visor. Rocket League ball. I'm good. Unless you can actually put something up in the compartment. And I can put another plate there. Must be a front air dam. Mirrors. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, let's go. One more delivery today and we will be on our way. And thanks again to everybody that stopped by today or that is here with us as we make our second and final delivery. Our first delivery was some gnocchi to Odense from Aberdeen in the UK. That didn't take as long as I thought it was going to because we had a really, really long boat ride from the UK to Denmark. This one should be a little bit less lengthy. right, let's hit it. This on-ramp is a little bit narrower than I'd like. It's okay. We'll make it work. Try to, anyway. A good chunk of the driving I've done in the real world has taken place on limited access highways, so being on a virtual highway like this makes me kind of feel, as they say, right at home. Some of you folks know I spent time in New York once upon a time, New York City. So I've been on many highways of varying complexities. In New York City, some of the most iconic ones are the the FDR, the Brooklyn Queens Expressway, the Long Island Expressway, and the West Side Highway and the Henry Hudson Parkway in Manhattan. Oh wow! Look at that, dude. That's superb. I forget how fantastic it is to, get on over to, like, Copenhagen and cross these bridges and these sections of, like, open water. Well, not really open water. It's like a really big river, but it's impressive. And the clouds remind me of being on vacation in December down at Disney in Florida, when it was like, a little bit warmer than it was at the time, but there were some cold nights, believe it or not. I think one night it got as cold as like the 30s when I was down there, which, if you're not prepared for it, like, it really wakes you up. And there's this place between, what am I trying to say? Between walking fast back to your hotel room and walking so fast that you make yourself even more cold. So so you have to watch out for that. Oops, I was going too fast. Guess they got me on that. Little extra donation to the government. So that was a roughly $700 toll I just paid. Or like 680 some odd dollar toll. So yeah, there's that. It doesn't matter how much money you make, a 440 euro or 440 euro token fine for speeding is costly. Okay, so we're not that far away from Copenhagen. But we're not going to Copenhagen today, we're going to Latvia. And this sunrise in front of me is absolutely glorious. So chat, what do you think I should do? Do you think I should make dinner for Mrs. Digi, or do you think I should treat her one more time to something like maybe, like Chinese or like a pizza or something? Because I like cooking, and I know she likes cooking too, but I know she also likes comfort sometimes. You let me know. Weigh in. Feel free to weigh in and let me know your thoughts. I do my best to take care of her. I don't always succeed at everything, but she she has told me she's grateful for me, and I'm grateful for her. It seems silly and kind of backwards to say that you're grateful for somebody that you take care of, and all things being transparent, it's like, Digi, you sure you're not codependent? But no, when life forces you to step up, you begin to discover, what it is that you really zone in on, or what it is that you really focus and what you really should be focusing your time on. So it's an adventure, it's a challenge, but I'd rather have that than nothing. There's a proverb that says, where there are no oxen, the manger is empty, but from the strength of an ox come abundant harvests. And I think the point being implied is that if you want an easy cleanup, just keep the stables empty, and you're not gonna have a mess, but you're not gonna have anything to eat. But when you get about the business of living life, you reap the benefits of it. And I think, to be honest, I might wind up getting the DLC for Euro Truck Sim 2 to be able to go back to Project Japan again very soon. Because it's appealing to me, this idea of being able to drive in Japan again and go to totally different places. And at the pace that they're going, who knows if in the next couple of years they're going to have even more roads represented in what am I trying to say? Second time I wasn't paying attention. I better pay attention more. But I'm not worried about it. I was talking about Project Japan. There we go. And I was talking about how I need to get more DLC because I think the current version of it requires it. And I'm not sure what it is that they need from all those DLC to make the map expansions. But if it makes it possible and really good, then I guess that makes the map expansions worth it. So I'm not gonna worry. Also train, nice. I do not remember the last time that I drove through Sweden at all. This is cool. If the volume levels are too loud or too quiet for the sim or for my microphone, just let me know. I'll try to adjust the sounds so they're better for you. I try to do a little bit of checking before I get started on stream, but just because I do doesn't mean the levels are great. And again, this is the second and final trek of the evening for trucking. I don't know if I'm going to be doing anything else on stream. I'm most likely going to be done streaming when I get to my destination in Latvia. And then, depending on what I'm doing the rest of the evening, whether I'm trucking with other people on their convoys or doing something else, I'll figure out what the rest of the evening has to offer. Depending on how the next few weeks turn out, I might be doing things differently. I might be doing things drastically differently in the next coming months if things change. So, we'll see. Oh, yeah, I talked about this a little bit, but I may not have given you enough context if you were here before. I have some classic consoles, and when I say classic, I say it between quotes because, when I think of classic consoles, I think of things more like the 2600, the 7800, the Nintendo, the SNES, the Genesis. But I currently have, on top of having a Genesis, I also have an Xbox 360, a PS4, and a Nintendo Wii. And I tried using my Xbox 360 today, but unfortunately, I think the optical drive has fallen into disrepair. So I don't know how much it's going to cost for me to have that serviced or replaced. And if I'm being transparent, I might take the usual like plasticky covers off so that I can actually keep the thing open and maybe transfer all of the components into a separate micro ATX case so that I can make it look like another computer, and also simultaneously not have it take up as much space. That's assuming that I can fix the optical drive on the 360 or replace it for less than $50 to $100. If I can do that, then I will hold onto it. If I can't, then I'm probably going to save the hard drive somehow and then get rid of the system. I might do that if it's going to take a ridiculous amount of money or time or effort or some combination of the three to get it back to a usable state. But I'm not going to fret about that because, again, like I said, I still have a PS4, I have a Nintendo Wii, and I also have an Xbox. And depending on whether or not the Xbox has a signal that I can convert to HDMI, then I might play it or play some games on my on stream because I have a game capture card. Also, something slightly crazy that popped in my head, because I have an old system that I'm not using at all, I might convert that into a streaming setup so that I can actually have a streaming PC alongside my gaming PC. However, to be completely honest, that's a stretch. That's a big stretch. I don't know if I want to have two computers running on the same uninterrupted, power supply or in the same room. I don't know if the wattage draw is going to overload my circuit breaker, but I do have another UPS that basically would require less wattage pumped out so that I could actually use it and keep both of them running in the event that the power goes out, for example, or there's some kind of issue where the power goes out and it's not weather related. I guess it depends. Yes, I do everything normally from one computer, but the AverMedia capture card that I have now lets me seriously consider the possibility of being able to stream my stuff and also be able to capture it and process it a certain way. However, I think I predominantly got it so I could stream other consoles. Like I said, PS4, Wii, Xbox, potentially other consoles as well. If I could potentially get a capture cable for my 3DS, I might do that. I want to bring a little bit of flavor and variety. And I can also, you know, plug in my Raspberry Pi 4 and use it on a separate screen and also share the experience with it as opposed to just connecting to it remotely. So I have to figure out what that's going to look like and how it's going to play out. But I'm glad, even if I discovered that my Xbox 360 can't really play games because you need the optical drive to verify that even the game you fully installed on your hard drive works, I might, what's the phrase I'm going for? I might, use the other systems or stream from the other computer to Twitch. That came out wrong. Stream what I'm playing on the other computer to Twitch. There we go. Because that other computer that I have as a desktop is a very, very old Windows 7 era computer. But it's also a potential gold mine for me to be able to play old games. Like, for example, Porsche Unleashed, Need for Speed High Stakes, Microsoft Train Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2004. 2004 will probably still work on my current computer on 10, but I'm not sure. I guess it depends on how beefy my old setup is and whether or not I'm actually interested in doing that. Because 2004 was way less demanding on resources than FSX, but it also might still be a little too much for my other computer. Am I worried about it? Not really. If any of you are on my Discord, I will try to see if I can figure out how to get invites working again when I'm streaming, so that I can, kind of like make calls for folks to come in at certain points. I moderate and maintain my Discord server, and I keep a close eye on memberships and engagement. So I don't have a Discord command for certain reasons, but also like the invite system used to work whenever I copied a link. It doesn't seem to do that anymore. And I think in one sense it's because Twitch moved away from, I don't know, either allowing me or allowing other people to be able to post links in chat. I don't know if it was a security measure or I'm just doing something wrong. So I'm not sure. But what was I going to talk about? I'm on Discord talking about plans for the future, and I do want to also get back into doing electronics and gadget tinkering with my Raspberry Pi machines, because I think I would like to try my hand at some projects that I have been debating for quite a while. And if you know, you know. I made a little MCP helper for the fly-by-wire a little while ago, and a friend was gracious enough to gift me a PCB with a bunch of buttons that I could basically tie functionality to. So I was able to use it to push certain buttons in the plane that I would otherwise have had to push, or dials that I would have had to adjust using a mouse. I'm learning more about the way electronics work, or at least I'd like to, so that my breadboard wiring and ultimately future PCB designs make sense. I'm not going to create something on the level of, say, WinWing, but I think I am going to shoot for the possibility of creating something which is going to allow me to do the things that I want. And I'm not going to worry about 3D printing anything, because that costs a good chunk of money, and you have to have an idea, or at least you kind of have to have an idea of what it is that you want. Ooh. Nice. So it's a work in progress right now. That's all I'm going to say. Although I'm hopeful for the next few months, I will say that I am extremely grateful to Yahweh Elohim that this year so far has not kicked into high gear like last year did. And I'm hoping that's the case. And I'm hoping that this new opportunity either becomes the thing that really helps me get back to a healthier place work-wise, or that it doesn't. And I decide to launch my business and I do things way more relative to flight simming and enjoying time doing these things. In fact, I just got a crazy idea where instead of tuning a frequency on your radios on your plane, you had I could call it, digital app that you would have on a piece of hardware, where if you pushed certain buttons, it sent a SIM connect, or like a certain message, so that the de-icing truck would meet you at the ramp, and then you'd be able to request your services without having to tune a radio. And to an extent, certain planes have those things built into their FMC software, so that you can do weight and balance sheets and all that stuff. These are just like ideas I'm spitting out here, but I think I like the future direction. I think I like the idea of maybe doing something on that level in the not too distant future. We'll see. My guess is I'm a little bit less than halfway through my trek to Latvia, and I'm thinking the seaport will probably come up in another 10 minutes or so, IRL. It's about midday in the sim, and we'll see. We'll see how Latvia treats us. Thanks again to everyone that stopped by today and said hello. And of course, thank you to all my lurkers. I appreciate all of you. If you feel bad at all about being here and not saying hi, don't even worry about it. By you just being here, you're raising the channel algorithm, or boosting the channel algorithm, whatever the phrase is. You're helping me out just by taking a look at my channel. I certainly appreciate the people that stop in and say hello, and certainly don't mind and certainly welcome anyone that cheers or drops bits or donations or a sub. But you don't have to. You don't have to. It's not a requirement. It's always appreciated. I call it my gourmet potato chip money. Oh, I got a message. From whom, I wonder? Doesn't look like anything. Let's see. Updates. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. No. No. I thought somebody was actually sending me a text. I'm sorry. Wobbly on the road here. Nice. Welcome aboard. Ooh. Well, congrats on your gardening adventure. Welcome aboard Coffee Cup Arcade. Friends, I want to introduce you once again to my friend Coffee Cup Arcade, who is a friend of the channel and also does things with regards to video game demos and music. I have tuned in to more than a few demo streams in the past to have tunes on in the background while cranking out some work. Definitely a fan of my friend Coffee Cup Arcade. Welcome in, sir. I am on my second and final truck stream. I am, well, not truck stream, but delivery. My first delivery was from the UK to Denmark, and I'm on my way from Denmark to Latvia. You're welcome, friend. You're most welcome. I am in one of my favorite trailers of all time, Volvo, kind of like cab over, great truck. And I am well on my way to Latvia. I'm about halfway through. I'm still waiting to see the port come into view so that we can cross the bay, so to speak. Nice little bit of weekend traffic, and we're on our way. I am debating getting the map expansions that I'm missing. I'm missing 3, and I'm debating getting Project Japan again in the not too distant future for some Far East trucking with decidedly more challenging roads and deliveries. I tried it once upon a time when there were only like 1 or 2 map options. I think there are like 3 or 4 now. I mean map regions, because the whole thing is like one big map, but there are like 4 regions. Western Japan, I think like the Hiroshima, Nagasaki area, or the other side of those islands, Kobe, and they started to expand the Tokyo section now. So I might do that. I'm going to have to buy like about maybe $50 worth of map expansions, and then I should be able to download the latest version, assuming I have the utilities and I know what it is that I want to download and where from. But it's just going to take, like an evening of a concerted effort, and then I can actually get back to Japan again. If I do that, I'll probably stream it. And depending on how easy or how cool it is, I might actually make that my convoy route so that I'm not going to have that many people coming along for the ride, but it's certainly going to be different. But also, like I mentioned, I think I'm going to be doing some European convoys because of the sheer amount of, different countries that I'd be going through when making certain deliveries. ATS is cool too, don't get me wrong. And I did actually test out my Avermedia Live Gamer Mini capture card, which I recently purchased. I unfortunately ran into technical difficulties with my Xbox 360, but what I'm probably going to do is hook up the supplemental display so I can game on that display and also see chat with basically zero latency, because when I tried it out with my game box, there was a lot of lag, mostly due to the controls, but also I think because of the way that I was doing things. If I game on a separate screen, then I can basically use that as the display for it and then not worry about, say, the difference in lag between what my controls say and what the screen does, because that was kind of messing with my head. Oh, well, honestly, I think if I stick around with Raspberry Pi for much longer, I'm probably going to get some kind of an extension or hat for the Pi 4 and get an NVMe drive for it, because honestly, I've been very fortunate. I don't spend a whole bunch of time doing things on the Pi, but SD card corruption is real. So I don't want to be caught and be like, oh no, I've lost like so much time. A Mister for 180 bucks. Wow. Well, okay. There is a teensy chance that I can get my hands on that kind of disposable spend. It's not going to be for a little while, but it is possible. Do I think I'd like to do something like that? I wouldn't mind it. It's just going to take an effort. It will take some effort. So I'm going to think about that for a little bit. And next time I get a chance to stop, I'll click on that link and take a look at it because I'm curious. But thank you for sharing, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate that too. I've debated the idea of getting a Mister for a while, and I feel like that might be the next logical step for me in terms of retro gaming, but I'm not in an extreme hurry to do that. Maybe I should be, but I think what's going to happen is it's going to become more relevant for me once the retro gaming line moves back far enough to also encompass the Xbox and the Xbox 360 as well. And again, kind of because of the problem I have with the drive on my Xbox 360, I don't know if I'll be able to take the game DVDs that I have and rip them without either replacing the drive and getting USB sticks, or getting a developer drive and just saying, you know what, I'm done with this system. I have a powerful enough PC. I'm just going to rip the games using the developer drive because I own them, and then I'm going to play them on something else. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think the thing is with the Mister, you're going to get such an authentic experience With emulation, you're going to get more reach, which is basically what's been going on, or what I've been indulging in, especially with the titles that I purchased a while back. Hey, welcome back, Two-Faced. We wound up making our delivery of Noki to Denmark, and I am about to board a ship to take me to Latvia. I suspect I'm probably only going to have like 15 or 20 minutes of driving once I get there. So we're going to go to Ventspil. I probably mispronounced that horribly, so I'm sorry. But we are going to Latvia. And as it turns out, we're here. Literally 13 minutes. What did I say? Wow. That's a good chunk of PC Engine titles. That's kind of big time. This is a little crazy. I haven't been to northeastern Europe since trying to like drive in Poland, but this is cool at the same time. Superb. We'll see how much money I made. I would like to see an easier way to collect the arcade games that are out there without having to buy extremely expensive boards, because there's some arcade games that are near and dear to me, like, you know, Virtua Racing, Outrun, that kind of stuff. Fortunately for me, a lot of the different conversions of Outrun, more than a few of them, I should say, have been very good conversions. And there's even an Amiga project where they're trying to make an Amiga port of the arcade game of Outrun, which is better than what the Atari ST port was. There we go. There we go. And I think as especially as I age, so to speak, I I appreciate more convenient things being done for me, as opposed to me having to do a lot of the legwork on my own. Some of that's fun. You learn how to do certain things, but it also takes time away from other things that you have to do, or other things that you want to do. So, CCA, do me a favor, buddy. Let me know straight up. After I buy my titles, not titles, after I buy the map expansions to go to Japan, I'm gonna have like something on the level of maybe like 30 some odd bucks tonight. Should I make some pasta, maybe even some gnocchi, like traveling to Denmark inspired me to do? Or should I get dinner for Mrs. Digi? What do you think? Because I can make dinner and I can save money, but I tell you what, I sure don't care about whatchamacalling and saving as many pennies as I used to, because God is good and He takes care of me. I need to take care of her. Making dinner is good too. I like that. Sounds good. What in the world is that? Is that a train? No, that's a boat. Look at that. Wow. And I just crossed that drawbridge about, what, 90 seconds ago? Boat! That's superb. Look at that. That's fantastic. Yeah, I guess you're going to be waiting for a little while. I don't see that happen very often. The last time I had to wait for a drawbridge, I was driving in ATS. Little World is Active. Yeah. And this is the truck that I've been driving. So, good stuff. Let's go ahead and unload. Actually, the distance driven was, I think, a little bit more than my drive and boat to Denmark from the UK. And I made about 32,000 euros. That's not bad. Let's go, another delivery. Well, let's see. Let me debate. Riga. I haven't been there, I don't think. And no, I don't want to go to France. I don't want to go back to Norway. I don't want to go to Lithuania. I want to edge closer and closer to St. Petersburg. This isn't going to be that long at all. That's like, what, a quarter of the time? That's literally 10 minutes. Let's go. We'll take that job. And let's go ahead and load it up. And you know what? I'm going to take the easy way out. I'm just going to go ahead and hit enter, get it loaded right now, and just hit the road. So we're going to go to, I think I said Riga. One more delivery, chat. One more. Let's go. Not that much. It's going to be an evening delivery. And then we're going to be on our way out for the night. Thank you so much to everybody that stopped by and said hello. Really appreciate all of you. This is not something I do a lot of on the weekends these days, but I do like being in truck sims, and I do like me some ETS2 for some far off deliveries. Also, in the, I guess, couple of hours that I've been on, I've gone from about 7.3 to 10.3 million euros through my network of delivery drivers across various countries, which is superb. I'm happy about that. And I might do a biz dev stream for Truck Sim in the not too distant future where I pad and build more of my network up. So we'll see how that pans out. All right, left turn, nobody coming. Let's go ahead and go for it. All right, so we are heading deeper into the interior of Latvia and crossing some railroad tracks. Nice. This is literally probably going to take me between 10 and 15 minutes, so I'm not worried about it. Coming up this week, I don't know if I want to do any evening scenery dev. I'm kind of easing off the gas pedal for a little bit. I've worked on a separate project, a side project to the side project of my side projects. An airport in Microsoft Flight Simulator for a good friend of the channel. I might expand on it a little more or plan to release it in its current state on flightsim.to. It is a airport in Kentucky. It's just a tiny little airport. Nice. I had debated getting a Dreamcast again, but given the issues that I'm having with the Xbox 360 now and possibly having to replace that optical drive, I don't know if I want to care about the original hardware that much anymore, especially if, say, for example, in the next 3 years, the Mister becomes a thing that actually lets you play Dreamcast really well. It probably already is, considering how old that system is. There we go. There we go. Somebody did something not too dissimilar to that with the Sega Saturn, where they basically replaced or circumvented having to use the drive so they could actually play their games, through a stick. Oh, well, there we go. There you go. So you're aware of kind of like the deal. I guess as more and more optical sensors go away or start to really go kaput like mine might have, it's going to become a question of, game preservation. So, I don't know. I got a little bit of time. I don't think I have to worry about that tonight. So, I gave myself a deadline. I think I'm going to give myself the next 6 months to determine whether or not it's worth that much to me. If it is, then I'm not going to spend money on certain things. I'm going to set the money aside, get the optical drive replaced with a new one that works so that I can actually, rip my games so that I can actually hold on to them. Or I'm going to figure out a different way of being able to get all that stuff in the first place. Oh, that sounds pricey. That sounds very pricey. Wow. Honestly, I think taking care of the things that are most important is what I need to focus on right now. So whether or not that means I have any console systems in the near future, I don't know. I don't want to care about that as much as I used to. Sheesh, there was a time when I wanted to have a custom car to drive, and it's just like, it's a great idea, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to obsess about it. Um, I want to have things. I don't want things to have me. It's like, well, I could have gone and like, gone to the beach and spent time with like friends and family, but no, I have to buy an optical drive for my, like whatchamacallit Tendo because I need to play games now. It's like, I'm I'm good. Exactly. Original hardware is starting to go the way of the dodo. So, especially in my case, like I just discovered today, it it happens. You have to deal with tech which no longer works. So, there you go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, when we were kids, the idea of having a private lair or a garage packed to the gills with like game box after game box after game box, that I'm sure that was like, a thing that we wanted to do. In one sense, I almost kind of want that right now, but at the same time, I'm not. It's not something that I want to obsess over anymore. I get what I get. If I have to step away from that for a little while to save up for a more compact setup, great. It's not something I want to obsess about too much because when I do, I spend time thinking about things that aren't going to benefit me in the moment. And I mean, you do have to have some vision casting when you're doing anything in life. Some. But sometimes it's better to not spend time thinking about things that aren't going to give you benefits in the short term. I mean, exercising is an exception, of course. You make yourself uncomfortable in the short term to get better health benefits in the long term. But I'm talking about our conversation. Like, do I really want to have a classic NES anymore? Do I really want to have, like, do I want to have a hardware Dreamcast? I mean, like, different flavors of issues come up. You could have different hardware. I just know the optical portion of things like the GameCube, the Dreamcast, the PS1, the PS2, etc. Those things are going to fall into disrepair. So, is what it is. I'm not going to freak out about it because there's no point. All it's going to do is take up my time. Yeah, yeah. I guess that's the point. Like, if it really is a question of, hey, I'm a retro game streamer, this is literally what I do, then yeah, like, if you're, Mr. Number One person on Twitch for retro gaming, then yeah, you're gonna get all of that stuff in your office or closet or your company because that's what your company's about. I'm less about that these days, but I do like dabbling in retro. So, I don't have as many titles as I'd like, but we're getting there one purchase at a time. Which reminds me, there are some potential acquisitions that I might be making soon to expand my library. I think you're right, actually. I've seen more people talk about Misters in the last year than I think I had in years before that. So, yes, I do believe you're correct. I do believe so. I'm trying to be reserved about what I spend my time and my money on. And I think one of the things that I'm dealing with myself a lot lately is just thinking or overthinking what I'm going to do, what I'm going to stream or play, whatever. I talked about that before at length earlier in the stream. Yeah, and I already have a capture card, so all I would need is Mister. And the minis are cool too. I didn't get in on it with the Amiga one, but I think I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, and maybe get a different piece of hardware, or like I said, double down on fixing the Xbox 360 so I can play those games. Yeah, yeah. Waiting is not a bad idea. Waiting means you either spend money on the things you have to because they matter more, or you're waiting for a better opportunity. The scenery DLC for Euro Truck Sim might happen tonight, but the next big thing will probably take a little bit longer, and that's okay. I won't be streaming Project Japan anytime soon, but if I get everything, then I definitely will have the ability to do it. It's just going to take me a little bit of time. Oh my word. Well, wow. I still need to educate myself on how to actually use the Commodore 64 the way it was intended, the old school way. But having the Amiga 500 is probably going to be, the full-size keyboard and stuff, that's probably going to be a lot better in terms of, you know, the experience. Doesn't sound like a bad idea. So welcome to, was this Riga? We're in Latvia, we're in Riga, we're almost to our destination, and we are going to drop off this load and probably call it a stream. Thank you, my friend. I am grateful to everyone that stopped in and said hello. We did actually 3 deliveries today, and I wasn't, I kind of wasn't expecting more than one, but we had some fun, talked to some friends along the way, talked about current things and aspirations in terms of gaming and life in general. And what is this? What is this? What is this? Looks like a lotta. Dude, look at that. Nice. So we just made it as the sky is beginning to get brighter. And no, we're not doing that. Tonight has been easy deliveries, and I'm not going to frustrate myself with anything even remotely crazy. Yeah. Okay. So not bad. 3 deliveries in the span of one stream across 4, 5 different countries. Dude, I'm happy. We made it. We're here. Let's go ahead and unload. And seeing as how my friendly cat is waking up and talking to me, that's probably going to be tonight's stream. I don't know how much experience points we've made, but I'm like almost halfway through level 32. There are some Euro Truck Sim players that I'm sure would put that to shame. Probably level 100 or higher, but I'm happy. The amount of money we made with all the AI players doing deliveries for me, I'll put to use when I probably expand the business. I might have to buy some garages in Latvia and get some folks from there to come work for me. I think 3 deliveries is going to kick it for me for today. This was wonderful. Let's see. I have 10.6 million. Worth a try. I have 10.6 million euros, and I'm probably going to be taking a look at my company, if not tonight, over the next week. Again, stay tuned. Stay tuned to my Discord. I am probably going to either attempt a dev stream, a quiet dev stream at some point this week, or I might temporarily forego those dev streams and dev completely offline, but maybe stream once or twice on a weeknight to do some more trucking or do some flying, or maybe even do some retro gaming. Maybe hook up the Commodore 64 through the Live Gamer Mini, since it's a maxi and takes an HDMI, and maybe also hook up my classic computer and play some SimCity 4. I have to take a look. I have to take it out of the closet, and now that I have a means of being able to hook it up to my TV, I can start using it again. But I'm probably going to be streaming sometime between, I would say, tomorrow and Friday. Tomorrow, probably not. Monday or Tuesday might be my next likely stream. In the evenings, probably around like 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And if I do another stream next week, probably Thursday. Most likely not Friday, because a lot of my friends hop on. I like to say hi. I like to engage with that chat. And we'll see what's up. Again, if I continue with ETS2, like I most likely will, I'm probably going to be picking up those map expansions tonight and debating getting set up with Project Japan soon. Also, a game released on early access, Tokyo Extreme Racer, that I'm debating getting, but I don't know. It's early access, and I don't know if I want to spend a lot of time racing when I have Shitoku Revival Project for free. Yeah, man, I think it's growing on me. I think I might want to go back to the land of the rising sun and do some trucking. Because honestly, I've done my share driving up and down the Bayside route so many times, and I can watch other people stream Tokyo Extreme Racer, but trucking has its own charm for me. All right, everybody, enjoy your evening. Much love to all of you. Like I always like to say at the end of every stream, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that is Jesus Christ. My friends, rest well, enjoy your Saturday night, or Sunday morning, or Sunday afternoon, and I will be in touch. Catch me on Discord or on other channels throughout the Twitchverse. Until next time, have a great night. Much love to you all. Take care.